Welcome to NetSet Dream and HelpNet Aspirants YouTube channel. Today we will see about Contemporaries of Chaucer and their important works. First we will see about William Langland. He was born in 1332 to 1400. He was born in Malvern in Worcestershire, the son of poor freeman. He was famous for his work The Visions of Piers the Plowman. The poem was first appeared in 1362 in 1800 lines, but after some revision it has 1500 lines in the year 1377. So Piers the Plowman is full of alliterative revival in the 15th century. So next, The Visions of Piers the Plowman is full of Piers' story, who is fallen asleep in Malvern's Hill. The poem is a dream allegory in nature. So the first line starts with the voice of him that cried in the wilderness, prepare you the way of the Lord. So for centuries, literature is busy in praising upper class. After Langland came, he supports common people through this work, that is Piers the Plowman. So the poem is divided into two distinct parts. First talks of visions of Piers, and second is the consists of allegorical characters, that is do well, do best, that is do well, do better, do best. So first vision he sees is full of field and it sorts of morning and his dream in the sleep. So next is he sees of 7 deathly sins, that is full of allegorical and shadow. So next is source of way to truth to God. Next, 7 deadly sins are pride, luxury, envy, wrath, avarice, gluttony and sloth. So this makes them for salvation. So throughout the poem, Piers is revealed as John Baptist, who is a preacher in the crowd. So next is poem grows intensely of highest power in Piers' triumph over death. So he wakes up at last when he recalls the sound of Easter's bell in his ears. So finally Piers appeared as Jesus. So it is divided into stanzas called passes. So passes is mean step, okay, step by step. So famous line from Passes V is, in whose hand are in quest, whose right land is full of gifts. So next we will see about John Wycliffe, who is that Bible translator. His timeline is 1324 to 1384. So he is a philosopher, theologian, Bible translator, reformer, poet, and worked as a semi-professor in University of Oxford. And he is called as father of English prose because he translated Bible in the year 1382, which earned him this title. So John Wycliffe is called the morning star of Reformation. In the time of 1382, he completed a translation from Vulgate into Middle English. So thus Bible is known as Wycliffe's Bible. So he translated some personal gospels, that is Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. So he translated the entire New Testament into English, while his associates has translated Old Testaments. So in 1377, Wycliffe and some followers formed a reform. That reform is known as Lollard's movement in England to reform church, okay, from corruption and moral decay. So the ecclesiasticals were fully corrupted and they are happy of worth, wealth and luxury. So poets like Langland and Gower are revolted against this corruption in the church. So they try to revive the spiritual Christianity in England through their works. So John Wycliffe challenged this Catholic Church. Okay, then he formed a movement, that is Lollard movement, and they tried to preach over the country about this their spiritual Christianity. So he encouraged them to seek their religion in Bible too, from translation of Latin into English. So these are the important works of John Wycliffe. That is the last stage of search. It is in 1356. De Logica. It is in 1360, which are full of Latin. So lost is objection to fear. So these are the important works of Wycliffe's translations. Next, let us see of John Lydgate, who is born in 1370 to 1451, who is a monk and a poet who born in England. So his poetic career is full of poems which increased of 1,45,000 lines. So he is famous for his letters more than as a poet. So his fame lies in praising Chaucer. So what are his important works which did by Lydgate? So first is the Complaint of Black Knight, which is modelled on Chaucer's The Book of Duchess. So basically all his works are based on Geoffrey Chaucer. So the Temples of Glass, which is interpreted to the House of Fame. Reason and Sensuality, which is an allegorical book. So Troy book, which is full of contribution to classical myth into English, which consists of 30,000 lines, and it is translation of Guido. So this is recommended by Henry V to write this book, that is Troy book. So the Story of Thief, which is published in 1420 to 1422. So next is Fall of France, which is published in 1438, which consists of 30,000 lines, which portrays of Monk's Tale, which is from Geoffrey Chaucer. Next we will see of John Madwell, who is a traveller, and his important work to be the Travels of Sir John Madwell, which is full of travel more, which was circulated from 1357 to 1371. So it is first surviving text in French. So this travel book, which has a prologue in English version, it talks of author himself and how he survived through travel for 30 years. Okay. So French Travels of Sir Madwell, which is translated by Jean de Bourgès into English in the year 1377, which is the important year which has Lollard's movement started. Next we will see of Thomas Occleve. His timeline is 1367 to 1426, who is one of the most significant poet than Lydgate in the 15th century. He was a clerk, and his poems is full of his own experience, which is shown in Lama Reedy Thomas. So Occleve's important poem is The Regiment of Princes, and this poem is full of praise of Chaucer. Next is two poems which has a sequence in series. It is published in 1420, which has the Complaint and Dialogue with a Friend. So Occleve's poetry are included in a translation of French poet, that is Christina de Prussian's poems. Next we will see of John Gower. So his important works are here, that is French work, that is Spectrum Mediterraneus, Vox Clamantis, which is in Latin. Next in English it is Confessio Amantis, Treaty for Example, it is in French. Next last is In Praise of Peace, that is in English. So his contribution, he is an English poet, contemporary of William Langland and Pearl poet, and is a personal friend to Geoffrey Chaucer. He is remembered for his three famous poems, which is a long poem, that is Memoire d'Homme, Vox Clamantis, and Confessio Amantis. So it is full of French, Latin and English. So it is common theme is moral and political. So the first work is published in French is Spectrum Mediterraneus. It is also as French title, that is Memoire d'Homme. It consists of 30,000 lines. It talks of religion and morality. So Gower's second major work is Vox Clamantis. It is written in Latin. So the first book has allegorical account of peasant revolt. Yeah, this Mio di Olme is of about mirror of mankind, which is a Latin name. It talks of mirror of mankind. So it is a Anglo-Norman poem which consists of exactly 29,945 lines. It is written in iambic octosyllables and its main theme is man's salvation to God. Vox Clementis, it is full of Latin poem. It is talks of the voice of one crying out. It is an allegory poem which has 10,265 lines and it has couplet, elegiac couplets. Okay, so first it has consists of 7 books. So first book talks of dream vision. It gives about peasant rebellion of 1381. Next poem, important poem is Confessio Amantis. It is 30,000 line poem which written in octosyllabic English couplets which is full of Christian confessions. So this prologue of this poem which is requested by Richard II. That's all for today's session about Contemporaries of Chaucer. I hope it will be very useful for your exams. And if any doubts, kindly post in comment section. This PPTs and some materials will be shared in Telegram and WhatsApp group. You can get there. And thank you all for watching our video. With regards, NetSet Dream and HelpNet Aspirants channel. If you like this videos, kindly subscribe our channel so you can notify our future videos which we upload. So thank you all. Stay safe. Happy learning.